What's up, people? I got some news. It's kind of bad, but it's nothing I can do about it. For some reason, YouTube updated their software or whatever, and so I can't live stream. And I destroyed my laptop, so I only got my phone. But I think the phone has some advantages, so we'll see how we can live stream shit. I don't know what's going on with fucking YouTube, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I want to talk to you guys about Danny Garcia's win over Adrian Granados, which was extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. You know, again, when I was on Pound for Pound Boxing Report, you know, one of the guys, Daniel, he was saying some things which I completely didn't agree with. You know, he was trying to say that, you know, basically, Danny Garcia, you know, he had a perfect opponent to face, which would showcase his skills and stuff. But that's bullshit. Okay? Adrian Granados faced Sean Porter, and he also faced who is he? He faced Adrian Broner. All right. Adrian Granados is a fighter who can fight off the back foot, off the front foot. He's a very aggressive fighter. He does get knocked down, but he can fight off the back foot, off the front foot. He reminds me of Carlos Molina. I'm not talking about Carlos Molina at 140 pounds. I'm talking about Carlos Molina, who was the 154 pounder. Chicago boxer, very skilled, very, they say awkward, but I think he's very skilled. He can fight orthodox or southpaw, so he can switch hit. He can box you on the outside, he can box you on the inside, he can box you at mid-range. What Danny Garcia did to this brother, and the strength of Danny Garcia is remarkable. And I will break it down and try and post up those videos to let you guys understand what. Because Adrian Granados is a dude, he's a live dog in any fight. Now, to be fair to Adrian Granados, you know, he's getting his ass beat. He was really getting his ass beat. To fair to him, the referee did stop the fight a little too soon. Adrian does come back. He does make adjustments to your style. But the way how Danny knocked him down the first time, the way he caught him the second time, in between the shots, is just pure brilliance. Pure brilliance. It is counter-punching excellence. Okay? How Danny Garcia cut off the ring was fucking excellent. Because there was a point in which Adrian Granados was boxing Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia still managed, and his defense is on point. Danny has some incredible defense. From the shoulder roll, the Philly shell, to a kind of caged sort of defense he has with the extended guard. It's just remarkable. This guy, it's not easy to hit Danny flush and hurt him. And he has a hell of a chin. He reminded me a little bit of Floyd in that fight, just a much more aggressive Floyd. And I really got to tell you guys, Danny has a bunch of skills that are just people don't understand and appreciate what Danny Garcia does. They think he's just this guy that hooks you wide, which leads me to another fighter who I thought hooks pretty wide. He has some looping shots. And I'm not really totally impressed with him, and I didn't talk to you guys about that. Teofimo Lopez. He talks a good talk. You know those New Yorkers, they can talk. But when it comes to, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? I need to take off these headphones. I forgot I had the headphones on. Yeah, when it comes to, let me rest this down here. Right. So when it comes to what I see concerning backing up his talk, Teofimo Lopez, I don't particularly think that he's that impressive. From what I saw in the fight against his last opponent, didn't really impress me. You know, got a nice little defense. You know, he uses the shell defense right here, right? He uses this mostly. You stand in front of you and use the shell defense. Kind of reminds me of Adrian Broner doing that. And I think if you throw enough combinations, you're going to catch him, right? So a guy who's shelling up this way on you and just standing his ground and shelling it up, leaning back and shelling. He reminded me of Amir Imam, for those of you who don't know. Same kind of shell defense that he had. And I'm not fully impressed with that because, again, Adrian Granados was able to pivot around that defense, right? He was able to pivot around that defense and catch him, right? And so if you just shelling up, that's all you're doing, but you're not using the footwork and respecting distance, okay? You're gonna find yourself getting, you're gonna get hit with combinations, especially if a guy throws a 3-point combination or 4-point combination. So if you're just shelling up on a guy, that's how actually Floyd Mayweather Sr. he got beaten by Sugar Ray Leonard. Because all he basically did was he would stay on the ropes and shell up. Floyd doesn't just do that, okay? Floyd doesn't just shell up on you, all right? He'll walk to you in a shell, but he might change the shell to a double guard, or he might snap back, or he might go under you. You know what I'm saying? He changes it up, you know what I'm saying? Or he might change levels on you, or he might just slide to the side, or he might come to you, but he's coming to you on a pivot, all right? So there's all these little things. I know you guys don't watch boxing, so y'all don't even understand what the fuck I just said. But there's all these different things that a guy would do, change up the game, right? Floyd, if you catch Floyd on the ropes, I always try to explain to people, Floyd doesn't just shell up on you. You see, Floyd Mayweather Sr. against Sugar Ray Leonard, while Leonard could catch Floyd Mayweather Sr. sometimes with combinations, was because Sr. just simply shelled up on you. Floyd collapses and changes levels and moves away from you and uses his lead foot as a guard. So if I'm in an orthodox stance, for example, right, I'm not just going to Floyd doesn't just shell up on you. No, he does this. So let me show you guys. I'm going to step back a little bit, move this rug out the way, and show you what Floyd do. Let's say this chair here is the ropes, okay? All right? So guy's coming at me here. Okay? Floyd does this. He takes the lead foot and he comes back way back here at an angle. So his foot is here going down this line. You have to get past his foot to get to him. Alright? And he leans all the way back this way. So you have to go around that foot. If you try to come this way, he will slide this way. He will slide back this way. Alright? So you have to catch him at an angle. Now, Mayweather Sr. and all those other guys, even Amir Imam, why he got caught on the ropes, is because he didn't do that. He just shell up this way on the ropes and he riding shots. You can't do it. Canelo does it a little bit different as well. Canelo, he would do this, but he would roll this way. He rolls this way and this way. He rolls. Right? So, that's for you guys to understand. It's boxing. And when you see these kinds of things, you know, so Floyd's defense was one in which you had to get past the lead foot to get to Floyd. You're only going to get one shot in. And then Floyd, a la Pernod Wicker, Floyd not only gets low, but he can slide in and bump you with the shoulder and change levels and go under you. Okay? Or he could do like this. He back here, and then he would just ride the shot. You come in with a downward shot, or you come in with an uppercut, he just ride it. Down, up, down, up, down, up. He just ride your shot. Right? See what I'm saying? He ride your shot. So it's all those little tricks made Floyd very difficult. Because one of the things in boxing, once you start changing levels, it makes things all that more difficult for your opponent. Especially if you're a moving target. So you see guys throwing combinations like this. And nothing's hitting. He riding them all. Alright? So, you see, it's not just the Philly shell. Alright, going back to what I was saying. Teofimo Lopez. Now, I'm a southpaw. I'm not an orthodox fighter, right? But, Teofimo Lopez, he would come through and he would shell up. And I see sometimes the guy catch him on the top of the head. But, of course, he just ride it because he's rolling back. There are two things. Teofimo, that young fighter was on the card too. He's a 126-pound featherweight. Stevens, what's his name? Shakur Stevens. They all got that old school style where they use the shell. Right? Sometimes they use the high guard to get their shots off, right? Quickly. Right? They use that dog. Alright. They use double guard, high guard, extended high guard. So you have right? Always staying off the middle line, right? So, but what I'm saying is that you can't depend on one kind of defense, just one kind of defense alone to protect you. You can't do that. You have to be good at varied forms of defense, all right? And that's the thing. People always think of Floyd as just the shell defense. No, Floyd's much more than that, right? He might use the two guard, right? Floyd might use the two guard this way. He might use the two guard this way, Sometimes he come like this, and he walk into it, right? Sometimes he'll use this guard, right? There's a guard where he uses like ear muffs, right? Floyd don't do that. He use a guard like this sometimes against the ropes. So he'd be like this. All right? When he's walking to you, he's walking to you like this. Okay? So it's all these little things. You guys got to watch what I'm saying. When I tell you guys Floyd's the best ever, it's because I see all these little nuances. All these little things. All you guys, you don't pick up this shit. You don't see this shit. All right? I'm talking purely on his skill level, which is how much skills he has and how refined. See, it's not just how much skill. You could be very skilled. You have an array of skills, but you are master of none of them. You perfected none of them, right? And then you can have an array of skills and you refine and you perfected a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So you can use a skill here or there. You can't use it all the time, but you can use it here or there. Floyd is a motherfucker who is a master of adaptation because he has so many tools in the tank. Some of them tools, we never saw it happen. He never had to pull them out to show you. And so that's the kind of thing I'm trying to tell you guys so you can understand. And we get little snippets and glimpses of those skill sets in fights. You see what I'm saying? But so that's Floyd. I'm gonna leave Floyd alone. So what I'm saying is these young guns, they watched Floyd growing up. They know about old school fighting. They have old school trainers that train them properly in the right things. So that's why they're so elite and they sharpen those skills, right? So Teofimo Lopez got some of that. All right, he can stay in the pocket with you just outside. Again, Shakur Stevens and Teofimo Lopez, they can stay just outside the pocket. Sometimes they're in the pocket with you and they're fighting with you in the pocket, right? They also know how to be first. They know how to get their shots off the right way, defensively responsible so that they're not getting hit. Teofimo Lopez hardly got hit in his fight against the other guy. I mean, the other guy didn't put up much of a fight, but he hardly got hit in his fight against that guy. Shakur Stevens, same thing. Shakur Stevens, because he's southpaw, I love how he would gauge his opponent, then land a shot. So he would set up a shot. I see Errol Spence do the same thing, by the way. He would set up the lead left. He would straighten out the lead left, touch the guy with the lead left, but it's really to set up the left uppercut. Lead left uppercut. It's beautiful. Or he would touch you with the right hand, catch you down low with the left. You know, and you see Errol Spence doing that quite a lot in his fights. Of course, that didn't work with Mikey Garcia. He couldn't really do that as much as he wanted to because Garcia was aware of that. Looping left as well as the straight left to the body. Garcia wasn't giving him that, so. Garcia was protecting his body very well. Again, motherfuckers don't understand what's going on in the boxing ring. So when these motherfuckers, I hear them, oh, Errol Spence just beat up Garcia, and Garcia, you know, he got beat up, and I listened, and I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Don't you guys see what's actually happening in there? So, anyway, I listen to people, and you know, it is what it is. So you guys have to understand what exactly a guy is doing in boxing, and that helps a lot. And I try to demonstrate some of this shit, not because I'm a trainer. I'm just one of those boxing fans who really was interested in what exactly was going on in that ring. What's actually going on? What's the chess match going on in there? Yeah, this guy may not be landing shots, but he's in the fight. But why? Do you guys even understand that this guy's in the fight with another guy and the other guy realizes he's in the fight? And sometimes you get a unanimous decision win, but it was actually much more competitive fight than you thought because it was a chess match going on in there. And so there's these kind of things that people don't understand. If you play the game of chess, sometimes you're losing the chess game, but you're tit for tat with the other guy still. You've seen the play. You know that the end point could be sudden destruction if you don't think through the process. That kind of thing that boxing really is. That's why I like boxing. All the other martial arts are cool, but you're not setting that plan like that. And then boxing is a kind of martial arts that the footwork, I don't go, okay, so if I'm doing Shitaro martial arts, right? This is the Shitaro stance, right here, okay? In close fighting it's called, all right? This is the stance right here, okay? So I'm standing here cool, right? Fight, right? And it's over, right? But I'm attacking you in a straight line. I parried and I hit and elbowed at the same time. Parry and elbow, okay? I walked in the kata, it looked something like this. Okay? Okay, now, I parried and an elbow, but I did it in a straight line. In boxing, Alright? It's all about pivot work. So I feint you here. I do as if I'm going to come here. I rotate, pivot, and I catch you here. Right? Sounds very complex, but the point is, I pivot on him. Street fighting, same thing. A guy's coming at me here. I'm going to just slightly pivot right here. Alright? And then I could either roll under, block his punch, right? And I could grab him here and throw him. Okay? I grab him and throw him, right? There's a kata for that. Similarly with boxing, there's fundamentals. In boxing, there's a fundamental, and you're doing it. You don't have to do shadow boxing. The fundamentals. You learn how to punch, kick, whatever. And you learn your defense. The fundamentals in boxing the same way. And those fundamentals is what you utilize to destroy your opponent. Floyd uses Aikido. He will use your force against you, and he will get you out of there. Take, for instance, second round, Manny Pacquiao comes leaping in with the straight left. Ha! Right? What does Floyd do? Check hooks his ass. Ha! Right? And sends him going that way. Right? It's Aikido. All right, so it's that kind of thing that, you know, I love about boxing. You know, because I was involved in martial arts. I was involved in tournaments. I was involved in fighting. And so I appreciate the technique, the skill, the nuance, the mindset that is involved, the dedication, the commitment to the sport of boxing. MMA does not appeal to me as much because, first of all, I don't think MMA is the real kind of martial arts. Real martial arts, motherfuckers don't even fight like that. It don't take long. A real martial art fight should last you, if so much, 10 seconds. Right? It don't last long. It doesn't. Right? Tournaments last long. But an actual martial arts fight don't take no... Street fight don't last long. Street fights don't last long at all if you do the right thing the right way. If a guy comes to attack you with a gun behind your head, ha, right? Right there. Ha, and it's gone, right? I just, ha, right? Real easy. Real easy. Right? Real easy. Because it's pivot work. I just pivot right here, and I'm here. See? Right around. It's pivot work. If I want to, I can go under it. Right? If I want to. So I'm just showing you guys a little bit of martial arts because I'm just saying that it's the same thing you're seeing in boxing, but on a higher level, in my opinion. And the guy's planning way down the road. It's like a marathon because it's 12 rounds. You got 3 minutes every round. That's plenty of time to do a lot of things, set up a lot of things. But besides the 3 rounds, you also got 11 more 3 rounds. So it's a marathon. Another thing why I say Floyd is the best ever is because he ran a lot of marathons. And remember, this guy didn't have good hands. That motherfucker didn't have good hands. I want you guys to understand that. Who, other than Paulie Malignaggi, who I respect very highly, just to become, who that had bad hands, first of all, became world champion? How many of those people? Second of all, was the pound for pound #1 fighter. Year after year, he was the top fighter in boxing. Year after year. A guy with bad hands? Get the fuck out of here. He got to be the best ever. And people say, well, if back in the day, if Floyd went back in the day with bad hands like that, he wouldn't have made it and stuff. He'd have made it. He might have lost more. He wouldn't have been undefeated. I'm pretty sure about that. But just because the way how boxing was, he would have to learn. He would have to get into the... He'd have the amateur still. He'd do very well. But I'm sure because of just racism and all those things, he wouldn't get decisions on fights. But motherfucker would never have been stopped. And with bad hands or no bad hands, that motherfucker had the will to win. He would have found a way to win. Okay? He would have outboxed that motherfucker still. Because I seen it. We seen him with really bad hands. He hurt his hands in fights, and he still beat these guys. I mean, hurt his hands really, really bad. Now, I don't know how long his career would have been in boxing. I mean, I had to stop his career because of his hands, because they didn't have the technology they have today. But that motherfucker is bad. I mean, I seen him fight through bad hands. I seen him fight through busted eyes. I seen him fight through damaged feet. All right, this motherfucker, and I'm talking about he fighting killers, guys much bigger than him, and killers. The last opponent they faced, they stopped. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And motherfucking Floyd Mayweather, he would still navigate that shit and win the fight.
And that's something that, I mean, that's legendary bullshit, man. I've talked about legendary fighters and their will to win. But the will to win, now the motherfucker, he wouldn't necessarily stop you. He could stop you, but he never go in for the kill to stop you. That wasn't his thing. That's like Willie Pep's thing wasn't to stop you. You know, Pernell Whitaker's thing wasn't to stop you. He had a vicious streak. Pernell Whitaker had a vicious streak in him, but he didn't generally stop fighters. All right? If you take Pernell Whitaker off, he stop you, though. Floyd, especially later on in his career, early in his career, he was stopping every motherfucker, right? That's his thing. He would stop your ass, he'd drop you, right? As he came later on in his career, he was fighting much bigger guys, much stronger guys, sometimes than him. His thing was to box them, outbox them, beat them up for 12 rounds, and then that would be it, right? Outclass them. That was his thing. And you got to understand, and Mikey Garcia is realizing that too. A guy that's bigger than you, or you know, you going up an uphill battle once you're dealing with somebody bigger than you. Because what you would normally set up to knock out another guy doesn't always necessarily apply. I'm sweating, man. That's crazy. To a guy that's bigger than you. But once you have other tools in the bag, you know how to maneuver past that. You know what I'm saying? Your boxing skills, your boxing IQ, you have to bring that to the table. Anyway, man, this is it for me in this video. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Danny Garcia and his skill set, man. And what Danny brought to the table. Because Adrian Granados was hard. He couldn't find the range. He wanted to fight Danny on the inside. He couldn't find the range to actually be effective against Danny. On top of that, Danny was catching him with the shots that he wanted to catch him with, and still defensively responsible to keep Granados from hitting him as well. Beautiful jab, by the way, by Danny Garcia. And he was using it in varied ways, different levels, off center line. You know, if he is in center line, he's got that cage-like defense that he has. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I mean, I would like to see him rematch Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. I would like to see that. I guess all in the timing. All right, guys. You have a good one. Deuces to everybody. Danny Garcia, probably going to look for the Pacquiao fight. But if it was up to me, I would have him face Terrence Crawford. All things being equal, that's the fight I would really love to see. Danny Garcia versus Terrence Crawford. I think that fight's a money fight. That's a big fucking fight. Now, Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook, I'm cool with that. I'm down with that. Kell Brook's a good fighter. I know Kell Brook will hold his own. Terrence Crawford ain't stopping Kell Brook. That ain't happening. Well, actually he could in the middle rounds if Kell Brook's stamina wears down. But if Kell Brook has his stamina and everything, it's going to be a good fucking fight because Kell Brook will land on Terrence Crawford. I guarantee you that. It'll be a good-ass fight. Kell Brook is a high-quality, premier welterweight who was once the #1 welterweight in the world. I give Kell Brook every single prop that he needs, but I don't think he's going to win the fight, though. I think Terrence will win the fight. 60-40, that's a good-ass fight for Terrence Crawford. Americano wasn't a good fight for Terrence Crawford, and that's why the pay-per-view didn't go high. ESPN, you got to find a good opponent for Terrence Crawford. All right? And just stop with the bullshit about Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford now. It ain't happening now. Okay? It's not happening. We all know it's not happening now. Okay? But Danny Garcia versus Terrence Crawford, that's possible. That is possible. Danny Garcia would want somebody of reputation on his listing. Bob Arum should go after either Danny Garcia or Kell Brook. Those are good opponents. I'm not gonna lie to you. I guess Kell Brook might get it. With Danny would be left out in the cold with nobody really to face. Unless Manny Pacquiao nope. It's already announced. Manny Pacquiao facing Keith Thurman. But a good opponent for Manny Pacquiao would have been Danny Garcia. That would have been a better opponent than Keith Thurman. But it's already announced, right? So it's going to be Pacquiao versus Thurman. Thurman's undefeated world champion. That's a good-ass fight for Manny Pacquiao. He's the WBA regular. Keith Thurman is the super champion. So it makes absolute complete sense for that fight to happen. So kudos on Keith Thurman landing the big one because he's going to make some money off of that. And he's going to also be on pay-per-view. So that's good. Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. That's going to be a good-ass fight. I hope they make that happen. And Danny Garcia versus whoever. Let me see. There's got to be a good welterweight out there that Danny Garcia could face. Let me think about it for a second. There's some good welterweights out there that got some name. You got Andre Berto. Why don't we have Danny Garcia versus Andre Berto? Andre Berto's still around. You know, Berto's tough. He's durable. Garcia could get him out of there, that would be great. Berto comes to you. Who else we got? And that's the opponent Sean Porter had. We got a couple good welterweights out there. We got Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, I think, is a welterweight. And I think Josh Taylor is a welterweight. I hope I got the right name. Maybe I have the wrong name. But we got a couple good welterweights out there that Danny Garcia can face. Or if he wants, he could go up to super welterweight and test the waters there and face a super welterweight. You know, there are a couple super welterweights out there that Danny Garcia might be able to face, and it'd be probably a good competitive fight or something. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will try to get some of the clips. I'll try to get an editing software, because now I have to use my phone to highlight some of these clips. Oh yeah, I lost my software in the process of destroying the computer. Shit, I might have to buy some more software for this phone, and some studio software too. I like the phone. The phone's better than the laptop because I can plug the phone into things. And I gotta get out of here. Yeah, guys. So you guys have a great one this Saturday, and I'm gonna talk some more boxing with you guys later. Peace.